Let's do Crazy Town because I really I want to talk about Biden and inflation, although I don't really need to because he has no idea about it. He has no idea what it is, how it happens, and he has no idea how to get control of it. The nonsense he spewed today, in the 30 minutes he spoke about inflation for maybe like 6 of it. And he has no idea what he's talking about. He does the made up I'm paying down the deficit nonsense again, which now everyone's calling him out on. So, all right, let's start with this so we can lay the table for what he sounded like. Crazy Town, Biden's plan to address inflation. Roll it, G.
Good morning.
On the mask again.
Today I'd like to talk about the number one challenge facing families today, inflation. Our plans and our policies have produced the strongest job creation economy in modern times. Americans have applied to start 5.4 million new small businesses last year. And I see, and as I see it, everything across the country is, as I go across the country, our economy has gone from being on the mend to on the move. Families all across America are hurting because of inflation. I come from a family where when the price of gas or food went up, we felt it. There are 2 leading causes of inflation we're seeing today. The first cause of inflation is a once-in-a-century pandemic. Not only did it shut down our global economy, these supply challenges have been further hampered by the onset of Delta and Omicron viruses. And this year we have a second cause, Mr. Putin's war in Ukraine. The roots of the inflation are outside of our control, to state the obvious. I'm taking inflation very seriously. I agree with what Chairman Powell said last week, that the number one threat is the strength, and that strength that we built is inflation. And I'm here today to talk about solutions. Americans have 2 potential paths forward.
Strength of inflation.
The first is my plan, the Democratic plan. The other path is the Ultra MAGA plan. I think what's happened is we have, in a sense, I never expected. Let me say this carefully. I never expected the ultra MAGA Republicans who seem to control the Republican Party now to have been able to control the Republican Party. Wow. Senator Rick Scott, Wisconsin, a member of the Senate Republican leadership, laid it all out in a plan. It's the ultra MAGA agenda.
Ultra MAGA.
Here's how each of us would tackle inflation. My plan is to lower everyday costs for hardworking Americans.
And how would you do that?
The Republican plan is to increase taxes on the middle-class families, let billionaires and large companies off the hook as they raise prices and reap profits at record amounts. And it's really that simple. My plan is already in motion. I'm working with Congress to pass landmark investments to help build a clean energy future. If we pass the investments I'm talking about, we'll immediately lower families' utility bills by as much as $500 a year, according to one estimate. That's by they're going to make their homes more secure in terms of heat not getting out and air conditioning not escaping because they have good insulation. Republicans have offered plenty of blame, but not a single solution to actually bring down the energy prices. You know, we have no plan. They have no plan to bring down energy prices today.
Exactly.
No plan to get us to a cleaner, energy independent future tomorrow. My plan is to make concrete, common sense steps to bring down the biggest expenses the families are facing with the Department of with the military as it relates And I also call for a cap on the price of insulin, which 200,000 American children rely on. And on this and other issues, I've laid out specific proposals to Congress to bring down the cost of the everyday cost many American families face.
Got it.
Think of the materials you need to build a house. If you can't get the materials from the ship to shore, from the shore to the home, transfer products from abroad to shore, from shore to the location where they're going to be used. The prices are going to go up. How well are we going to sleep at night knowing that every 5 years, MAGA Republicans, if they're still Republican, as I said, this is not your father's Republican Party.
Oh my God.
Give us another tax cut for billionaires or Social Security gets it. Stop investing in clean energy, or we're gonna kiss your Medicare goodbye.
What?
Republicans love to attack me as a big spender, as if that's the reason why inflation's gone up. Let's compare the facts. You've heard me say it before, I'm a capitalist.
Yeah.
Last year, we cut the budget $350 billion. The deficit.
There it is.
Not the budget, the deficit.
Came out.
I know you got to be frustrated. I know. I can taste it. The MAGA Republicans are counting on you to be as frustrated by the pace of progress, which they've done everything they can to slow down.
Mr. President,
If you're going to ask me about what I spoke about, I'll try to.
Yeah, what the hell did you just say?
Your administration bear some measure of responsibility for the inflation that we're seeing across the country.
You know as well, I shouldn't say you. I think what I have to do is explain in simple, straightforward language what's going on. I'm not suggesting American people can't understand it. I think that, they're not focused. All they're focused on, understandably, is the problem they're facing. They understand, but they don't. Look, people are making a lot more money. We're in power. That's the first thing. And you justifiably right, we control all three branches of the government. Well, we don't really. Most people, the vast majority of Americans are hoping that their government just takes care of the problem. And they don't have to think about it in detail at the kitchen table or at the dinner table. Do you think the average person, whether they have a PhD or have any other job, sits and thinks, wow, there's thousands of tons of grain in elevators in Ukraine. They can't get out. And Ukraine's one of the biggest producers of corn and wheat.
Do you take any responsibility for your policies?
I think our policies help, not hurt. The vast majority of the economists think that this is going to be a real tough problem to solve, but it's not because of spending.
You called out Rick Scott a little while ago in your remarks. Earlier today, anticipating your remarks, he said, and I'm just quoting here, that the best thing, most effective thing Joe Biden can do to solve the inflation crisis he created is resign. He's the problem.
Resign.
The senator added later, Joe Biden is unwell, he's unfit for office, he's incoherent, incapacitated, and confused. These are his words. Offering him a chance to respond to that.
I think the man has a problem.
Thank you, guys. How long should Americans be prepared to pay this much at the pump? Thank you, President. Are you concerned about a recession, Mr. President?
Wow. For that reporter.
Well, you got to feel confident that he's got inflation in his crosshairs, right? I mean, that's what the speech was about. I think
You can taste it.
you could taste it. You could just taste it. He's going to fix it, right?
Was that not creepy hearing him say, taste it?
After CPI tomorrow morning.
That tastes like 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream.
Again, I don't think they know in advance what the CPI is. I don't think that's how it works. But I just don't, this thing today, this seems to me like they're getting out in front of something that could be really bad tomorrow. If that's higher than 8.5, oh.
Just hunker down.
Oh. All right, live from Studio 6B.